If you're anything like me and have far too many mods installed for Farming Simulator, this could be the program for you. Come in and take a look at the FSG FS22 Mod Assistant. Let's go. Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a first look at a new standalone application for Farming Simulator. Now this is to help you manage your mods. So it is for PC players only. It is a PC application and it is called the FSG Mod Assistant. It has been created by the team at FSG Modding Farm Sim Game team and particularly by Mr. JT Sage. So we'll jump into that and take a look at it very soon. But if you're anything like me, I have a huge amount of different folders for my mods, one for each save game, so I can manage them that way. It's particularly helpful when you are on a multiplayer server. For example, you have different versions of mods on different multiplayer servers, so you can keep things in their own folder and manage your mods that way. Avoid any conflicts with mods being not updated on the server but being updated in the game or something like that. So I run separate folders for each of my save games and have found that works very well. And up until now, I have been using the Sim Game Alliance mod folder switcher, and that has also done a very good job. But the FS Mod Assistant takes things a little bit further than just being a mod folder assistant or mod folder switcher. So we'll jump in, take a look at it, and talk through some of the features. So just here on my desktop, we've got the FSG MA for the FS Mod Assistant shortcut there. So we're just going to double click on that and start it up. Now this is being released very soon. As I said, it will be available through GitHub, but keep an eye on the FSG Modding Facebook page and also on their Discord servers, which I've got some links for in the description. Go along, give them a follow, join their server and keep up to date with things, and no doubt there will be an announcement made there when this is available. So here is the screen when you first start it up. Now I've taken all my folders out so I can go through how to add them in and how to manage them, and we'll go through that very soon. But very simple, not too much to it. Nice, clear and easy to follow user interface, which I do like. Now we're just going to look at these few folders up, or few buttons up here: add folder, edit folder, reload folders. Have a talk about what this set active, deactivate does. Talk about the check versions, some of these edit buttons down on the side here. And lastly, I do like this Launch FS2022 button. It will find your game and launch it directly from there. So let's go in, add some folders and have a look. So first thing to do, we'll click on the Add Folder button up in the top left corner here. So clicking on that button brings up a standard Windows loading interface, and I've navigated my way to where I have all my different mod folders. Now we're going to go through and just add a couple in now and have a look at how it works. So we'll start off here. We've got the 5-minute farmer for Griffin, Indiana. It'll be a good one to start off with. So we'll click on that folder. Go down and say select, and it is going to go through and scan every single mod that is in the folder and reading and testing, as you can see. Now this might take a wee while. Fortunately, we've only got 86 mods and it's not a huge folder, so we're probably going to see it just about finished in just a second. And there we go, all done. And now you can see we've got our folder in here for the 5-minute farmer, 86 mods with a total file size of 2.2 gigabytes. So we'll go ahead, we'll add a couple more in there so you can see how it looks with a couple of folders added in. I'll just click through here, we'll just very quickly add in our Hannah, Indiana with the Farm Sim guy and a couple of others, and we'll be back in just a second. So there we are, we've got 4 of our mod folders loaded in for some of our different save games. Now we'll take a look at the first feature, which is obviously switching between mod folders for your different save games. So this uses the drop down box here and obviously the set active or deactivate. Now obviously hover over there, set this collection active in the game settings XML. So the mod assistant will edit your game settings XML to specify which is the active folder. And the drop down here, we'll click in and you can see we've got our 4 different folders. So if we wanted to load the 5-minute farmer, we can click into there, set active. It tells you that it's altering the game settings XML. And now got a nice green tick there next to this mod folder, which tells us that this is the active one. And if we will launch FS22 with the quick button up there, this would be what mods would load, and we'd be able to start off with our 5-minute farmer game saves. To switch between, it's just as easy as going in and choosing which one you want, whether it's Hannah, Indiana, Fringe Farm or Rock Mountain, clicking set active, and it will make that one active. Very easy. Once we've added a folder, we have a look here, we've got an option now to edit folders or reload the folders. And all reload does is reload them from the disk. And see here, we'll click on that, it's going to go through and rescan them all. If we click on edit folders, it actually gives us an option here. We can either go and open the folder location in Explorer, or we can actually forget the collection. So if we wanted to remove, let's say, our Fringe Farming folder, we can just click on that, close this, and that will now disappear out of there. It'll go through and reprocess, and that mod folder has gone. So what really sets the mod assistant apart from some of the other mod folder switches is the ability to dive deeper into each of the mod folders and actually inspect the mods that are in there and give you some information around where they've come from, whether they're mod hub versions, whether they're a PC only mod, scripted mods, or the like. So we're going to click into the 5-minute farmer, and there you go. You can see now got a whole list of all the mods we have installed on the game save. Now there's also some fantastic little cues and fantastic little icons which tell you what they are. So because this is the first time we've loaded this mod folder in, they're all showing up as new. So it's new since this last scan. If we were to close the mod assistant down, restart it up, that would disappear on all of these because it doesn't need to be scanned again. If we were to add a new mod into the folder and open it up again, it would tell us what is new. Amongst that, you can see here, we can look, this one has an update, so it does require an update. This one's identified an issue, which is actually interesting, and if you want to find out what the issue is, you can go in here, double click on it, and it gives you all the breakdown from the XML. One of the issues here is performance consideration. One or more of the XML files is too big, greater than 0.25 megabytes. Obviously wasn't an issue for Giants, it has gone through testing. So that's just some of the criteria that have been set to look at things like that. We carry on down a little bit further, non-mod hub. So this is a Trailer Park Farms shed pack. It's obviously from the rich.io page and is a non-mod hub. And then others that are script mods, such as additional field info. Mod is PC only, additional game settings, PC only, and the like. So there is a few different options there as you scroll down and see what can be seen. And there is, not that I've got any in this save, but there is a few more icons as well. And just to demonstrate that, we've jumped into the Hannah, Indiana folder, and this one says this mod is broken. Now I can guarantee it's not, but it wouldn't meet the mod hub standards. We go in here and see what the issue is. It does not have an icon file. FarmSim will reject mods without valid icons. Now that's if it was to be submitted to the mod hub for approval. It obviously wouldn't pass the requirements for mod hub, and that is really all we have to test these against. But again, as you can go through, we can see an issue there with the Alice Chalmers mod. One or more of the DDS files is too big. So just things to consider if you're having issues with your mods. You can go through here and potentially get some idea of what some of the issues might be. We've taken a look at how to add your folders into the mod assistant, how to set the active mod folder for your game saves. We've had a look in the mod folders themselves, how you can observe and inspect the mods that are installed in each one. We're going to go and click up here on this check versions button now, compare versions across collections. We click on this, this goes through and scans all the mods in all your folders and tells you where you've got the same mod in different folders with different versions. Right there, version mismatch. So we can see here, first up on this anhydrous ammonia pack, the 5-minute farmer Griffin has version 1000, Hannah Indiana 1100, and Fringe Farming 1000. So the Hannah Indiana version is slightly more up to date than the other two. And double click on this and that will take you further in. Now if we wanted to copy version 1.1 from Hannah Indiana and put it into the others, we can tick the box there, and say yes, copy mods. Now if we hit the refresh version list, that anhydrous ammonia mod will disappear and it's no longer has a version mismatch. So that is a fantastic way to keep things up to date. Now there might be a valid reason for you having version mismatch. Obviously multiplayer servers is one of them. So if I was to notice that Hannah Indiana, which is a multiplayer server, had a different version to one of our community multiplayer servers, then I would certainly not be copying those. But I do know, let's say we wanted the latest auto drive on the 5-minute farmer and Fringe Farming, but not Elk Mountain, we can go yes, copy. And once it's done that, we'll refresh the list and we'll pop in here and it will also show that only Elk Mountain is out of date. So you don't actually have to fully resolve those version mismatches, and in particular, like I said, multiplayer servers is one of those where you might not want to do that. Now another feature that is included here is being able to compare the mods in a mod folder with a save game. So for example, Hannah Indiana, we can click in here. I'm just going to load our save zip file up from that. I've downloaded it recently and just compare the two. So I've loaded in our save zip file there that I've downloaded from our server, and we can go through and see what's used and unused. So we haven't used the American Garage, we didn't use the 250 series Case IH combines, we haven't put any of the sheds down, nor the Alice Farmers tractors there. So very quickly you can see if there's any mods that you don't actually need in your mod folder, and you could go through and delete them or remove them or clear those out just to simplify your game saves or reduce the amount of mods that it loads every time you go through. So that is another nice feature. would also be very helpful if you were able to get a multiplayer save from a server and you could compare what mods you might not be able to find or what mods you do and don't have to be able to get onto that server. So another nice little feature. It might be that you've got an old save game that you want to reactivate and you haven't got all the mods anymore. You might find that one of your save game folders has the majority of those mods anyhow, and makes it very simple to locate and activate the rest of the mods. So the next feature here to look at is these options down the side here: move to, copy to, and delete, show in Explorer, and find on Mod Hub. Now these are pretty self-explanatory, but we'll go through them very quickly. We click into our 5-minute farmer folder, select one of the mods or multiple mods. You have them, these options become ungrayed. They are options that we can now click on. So we could click to move selected mods to a different folder or different collection. We could copy to a different collection, or we could delete them. Now, I think the one I would make the most use of out of this is the copy selected mods to a different collection. And what I envisage doing with that, not that I have yet, would be to set up a favorites folder that has all the mods that I want to use every time. And I would then be able to copy those mods from that folder across to a new folder and keep things up to date. And using the check versions across collections, I can make sure that those do stay up to date as often as possible. When we only have one mod selected, the Show in Explorer and the Find on Mod Hub buttons are ungrayed. Now, these are pretty self-explanatory. If we click on Show in Explorer, it's going to show us where that mod is in our folders. There it is there. And again, pretty self-explanatory. The Find on Mod Hub button, when we click on that, brings up our internet browser and finds it on Mod Hub. So if you wanted to download it from there or read about it or have a look at anything in there, you can even browse through the images and everything on the Mod Hub. So another nice little feature there to be able to make the use of. So a couple more buttons up here: show non-mods and show broken. When they're green, they're showing both of those. If we were to click on them, they would hide, and anything that was broken or a non-mod would disappear out of this view. Of course, selection options, we can select all, we can invert, which would obviously select none. If we had one selected and go select none, or again, we had one selected and wanted to select everything else but that one, invert. So some nice little options there for selecting mods. And lastly, across the bottom here, handy little link on the left which takes you straight to the Farm Sim Game website. We've actually got the address for the GitHub version down the bottom there, and an invite to their Discord server as well. So any bugs or anything like that that you might find as you've been using it, make sure you jump into Discord and report them that way. The team are always happy to try and find things to improve. If there's a feature you'd like added, maybe drop a line. You could see that added into the next version or an updated version as they come. Now, I didn't touch on the little button up the top here, the menu, set user preferences. Now this sets the game path. You can actually put in game arguments, e.g. skip start videos if you don't want the start videos, cheats and things like that. Auto start save games, there's a few different setting options you can do into there. If you've moved your default location in the game settings XML, you can go in and define that clearly. You can clean the cache of mods, things like that. You've obviously got some other options there for the main window, detail window, and your language options. It's very well thought out when you look at some of the different options that are included. So that is a very quick overlook at the FSG FS22 Mod Assistant program that's made by the FSG modding team, been put together expertly by Mr. JT Sage, one of the members there, one of the modders as part of the team. Keep an eye on their Facebook page and their Discord server. There will be an announcement very, very soon that this is available to be downloaded and installed on your computer. I think this is a fantastic upgrade on what some of the other mod folder managers allow and provide, and it has certainly made things a whole lot easier for me. I found it fantastic using it for the last couple of weeks, and looking forward to seeing where it might go and where it might develop in the future. So I hope you've enjoyed that first look at the FSG Mod Assistant. If you have, make sure you drop a like on the video and don't forget to check that you're subscribed and turn those notifications on. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.